Hello guys, this is Planet one more time, and thank you for joining me at the 20th episode of the Curses I'm in my pod. For this special edition, I decided to bring out some solo engagements, but some solo engagements using a very special ship, the Sentinel. Still, I did not decide to just pick up the ship and go out there killing people. I had an objective in mind, and there was a whole adaptation or evolution process, and it finally took me to the Sentinel to fulfill a certain objective. I would really like you fellas to accompany me during that journey. So okay, before the Rubicon patch, frigate dominance would especially be Dreamils, Daredevils, mostly because they were expensive and had good rolls, and also assault frigates because assault frigates had already been rebalanced, so they were pretty good. And basically, in order to kill those, you needed nothing more than a Tech 1 destroyer. Tech 1 destroyer, medium range, short range, would usually do the trick of getting a good fight out of them, and most of the times even win. Of course, depending on fits and all that, but it was a good counter. I'm pretty sure that most of you are already thinking to themselves, oh, but my Cinnaball is a wonderful counter against frigates. Well, yes, but I'm trying to maintain here a similar ship class and actually something that does not scare your prey away. You want to bait them and overpower them when they come at you, okay? And then we had the Rubicon patch. Well, for some reason everybody decided to start flying crows and pretty much stop flying everything else. I can get it up to a point, I understand the role they got and the technical thingy of the crows and all that, but I just think all a bit exaggerated. My first option was the Courser of Doom, but quickly realized that it had two main problems. It had absolutely no range control upon your foe, so interceptors could just kite away and warp off, and the other problem is that it only has a 23 kilometers of range, meaning that interceptors can actually kite you, long point you, and even kill you while being completely free of danger. So a new tool would have to be sorted out. My second tool was the Tanky Talwar. I solved one problem with the Tanky Talwar, namely the range I can shoot at. The Talwar can shoot up to 45k. It says 55 in the guns, but I can only target at 45. I don't have a sensor booster, don't need it really. But yeah, okay, I can shoot far away or further away, but I still have no range control upon my foes, meaning that they can still kite and warp off before I kill them. So it was really still not the ideal solution. I decided that really range control was the biggest problem, so I switched strategy a bit. I turned myself to the Republic Fleet Firetail, inserted some tank on it, some speed mods, and I just went out there overloading micro drive, scrambling crows and killing them because I don't really need much DPS, so no need for DPS modules, and just need to survive because one crow is never alone, there's always 2 or 3, so you need some tank to survive there. Unfortunately, it relies too much on overloading the micro drive, and the 1mm's micro drives burn out real fast. And also the other very important factor is that once the crows realize, or the interceptors realize, that you're faster than them, oh boy, they run like hell and you never see them again. I must confess that at this point I was getting a bit frustrated because I was not finding the solution that I wanted and that fulfilled me, gameplay wise, of course. And for some reason I kept thinking on what I could do or what I can use, and slowly, I don't know from where, the idea of the Sentinel started to form up in my mind. Don't ask me why, I have no idea where it came from, but I started looking at the ship and started thinking, I wonder. So okay, here's the fit I used. For the lowest damage control, some extra tank, Micro auxiliary power core, Tech 2, you're gonna need the extra power grid, it's really tight. Drone damage amplifier. As for rigs, I went for an EM reinforcer, although I have some doubts here. I'm not sure if a medium core defense or a small core defense extender would be better. Again, small auxiliary, because the damn ship is really tight in power grid. Three newts. I don't really care about Nosferatus. If I want cap injection, I want a small cap booster with 400 navy charges. The disruptor, a shield extender, a micro drive to be fast, and that's pretty much it. This way I don't have any active tank, so it's one less cap draining module I don't have to worry about, and I don't want to micromanage wrapping power, so the hell with that. I also achieve a magnificent 95.6 DPS in the form of drones. Yeah, that's really limited. That's really low, but let's give it a shot anyway. And as for the newts, the newts are the really wonderful thing. They have 31 kilometers range and newt 108. Basically, I can newt a frigate with only one cycle. And the 31k means that I can probably newt any crows that try to cam, crows or interceptors that try to cam near the Sentinel. So this is pretty much it. EHP wise, it has like 3000 hit points. Pretty much anything I can turn on damage control, but not 4000. This basically means that if anybody as much as sneezes in the direction of the damn Sentinel, it will break apart. Okay, let's take it out to the field, shall we? Okay, let's go to basics. A crow comes at you, you just need to target it, apply the newts, send in the drones, of course point him, and my tactic is always to approach him while they have the micro drive on. A few seconds later the micro drive will shut down because it's completely neutered, and you will see now the velocity. The velocity is only 400 meters per second, so he's basically slow boating, and he is almost dead. You can pretty much see that he has not enough DPS to break my tank, so it's a job done. So one crow is really not a problem against the Sentinel. Just a couple more seconds and he is dead. The next engagement, the Sentinel comes at me, and the good thing about the Sentinel is that you can target very far away. It might seem a minor detail, but it is really important to already have your foe targeted before the engagement begins. Tactic was actually the same. Approach the target with micro drive on, apply the newts, and once I was more or less on a safe distance within point range, I just kept at range, just kept one of the newts running. No need to overcap my newts also too much. And this stiletto is ancillary boosted, so it also has a decent active tank on it, but there's really nothing more you can do. He has a friend there from the same corporation, and he is actually in a warp range, but he is not warping down, so the stiletto is pretty much dying alone with his corp mate just watching. In the next engagement, I am messing with a malediction and a thorax at the same time, and I must make sure that the thorax does not get a hold on me. If the thorax as much as shoots me once, I pretty much die. So I need to make sure I can separate these two fellas. After I kite away from the gate a bit, the malediction decides to come at me, and I pretty much also decide it is time to commit to the fight without interference from the thorax. Okay, and there we go. Approach the malediction, switch on all the newts, make sure look at his speed so that I know when he is shut down. Okay, he's right now moving, oh, he's slowing down, and he is shut down right about now. Nice. Now that he is shut down, I just need to keep myself a bit at range, although it does not really matters much because he has long range missiles, but still just keep one newt there to make sure he does never gains the speed, the capacitor needed to activate the micro drive again, and he will easily pop. The thorax, you can see the thorax burning also towards the malediction. He also has drones out, but he's not gonna arrive in time to save him. And there we go, malediction dead, and it's time to bail. In the next engagement, I actually cheated a bit. I got a prober to get me a warping on this wolf at 10k, and once I landed on the grid, I applied all the newts and set myself at range. I like to put myself at range 18k or 20k so that I can get a good distance from short range powerful weapons like autocannons in this case. And this fella actually has an alliance member, a crusader that is burning in at high speed. Crusader is burning in at 7,500 meters per second. I'm supposing that the reason the Crusader did not warp in is because they're probably not in the same fleet, but he still wants to try to help him. Okay, so Crusader is getting in range, and I'm already targeting him far away, and as soon as he reaches range of the newts, just apply a couple newts to the Crusader, and he basically never even managed to get a shot while I still end up the wolf. The Crusader is really on top of me. He's at this point already shut down, but there's nothing you can do. So I'm just maintaining one newt on each ship so that I can maintain some sort of control and not cap myself out. I am getting myself ready to point the Crusader. Wolf almost dead. And Crusader just dropped off as soon as the wolf died. Oh well. Okay, I've been playing with some fellas for some time, in this case two sabers. I cannot engage two sabers at the same time, it's a bit suicidal. So I decided to try and split them up. Okay, one saber aggressed me, it's time to jump through to the other side. And let's see if the other one chases me. And it does, nice, nice. I kite away a bit, I apply the newts, and I try to keep myself at range. I need the saber to shut down the micro drive. Okay, there he is, shut down, he's slow boating. I need to point him and apply my drones on him. And at the same time, an Ares arrives. Okay, Ares is a much juicier target than the saber, at least easier to kill on the Sentinel, that is. Ares aggresses me. Okay, nice. I'm gonna switch stuff to the Ares, but I keep one newt on the saber at all times, or as much as I can, to make sure that the saber keeps neutered, to make sure that it does not micro drives towards me. At the same time, I try to point the Ares. I apply my efforts on the Ares. Ares is also shut down. You can see him slow boating, but now you can see the saber micro driving back. So he regains some cap, and he's burning at me again. So I need to cap himself again. Bad news: the saber that was aggressed is an aggressed. He's coming at me also. Ugh. Okay, nice. The Ares is dead, and I start getting greedy. I start to think if I can kill one of these sabers, so I need to apply pressure on the saber that is on top of me. I cannot let myself be scrammed. His saber at close range. He still has the point on top of me. Oh, come on, just drop the point, drop the point. Okay, the point has dropped, micro drive is on, it's time for me to make some range, but at the same time, while I make the range from one saber, the second one is already on top of me again. I need to nuke them too, and okay, yeah, it's getting too hot. I definitely need to bail because it's not gonna end well. I'm out of shields, come on, warp, 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 and I am out. Next situation, I find two crows and a stiletto on a gate, and I think to myself, yeah, sure, I can take him, no biggie, let's go for it. So I start sending in my drones at the crows that are hugging the gate in order to try to force them to come at me. The stiletto warps off, I don't really know why, and I have aggro for one of the crows, but they are still pretty much hugging the gate. This is a bit annoying, so I try to put myself at range on them, more or less, within neuting power, and it's time to start neuting them and killing them. Suddenly, a saber shows up. Oh boy, okay, saber is a really bad bad opponent at close range, so I need to make myself go away from this, apply nukes to the saber once again, try to make range from him. I'm still pointing the crow as to the best of my abilities, and also applying drones on the crow. Crow is dead, okay, nice. I'm out of shield, I'm almost down, I got the saber neutered. The other crow for some reason is not pointing me, time to bail. Oh, no, no, I just got pointed again. Oh, come on. Okay, I need to switch on the newts. I need to micro drive away a structure. I need to switch the newts onto the crow. I'm still pointed. I'm really not thinking straight. I'm neuted out myself. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, nice. The point is off. It's time to warp off. Goodbye again. And I still managed to kill the crow, so more luck than anything else, but oh well. The next engagement I see a manticore decloaking near a wreck, near a bubble, so I decide to go for the manticore. I'm expecting this to be an easy kill because bombers don't really do nothing against frigates or very limited damage. There's a Natron aggressing me but he's 40k away, and the rest of the stuff is also on pings, so I'm hoping this to be an easy kill. Then suddenly a whole recon gang starts to decloak on me, and I think it's time to bail away because I'm not gonna withstand all that. The good thing about drone damage is that you don't really need to be on top of your targets. Even if you're jammed or just far away, the drones can still do your job. Once the bombers left, the other fellas that were in the ping also tried to kill me, and I managed to primary the Federation Navy Comet. Same tactic, apply the newts, keep it range, make sure he shuts down. He's still micro driving a bit away, so I'm still applying newts. Okay, there he goes down. The Atron is a bit far away, and further away even the Drake. I need to make sure that the Drake cannot get a hold on me. Okay, so there we go. And I can see the Atron approaching me, and I need to also nuke the Atron. The Atron is a blaster ship dependent on cap, so if I can nuke him, I will be free from any sort of damage coming from that nasty little bugger. Okay, everything is going my way, but then I make a critical mistake. Although I'm lagging here a bit, I let myself cap out. What happens here is that I lost the newts on the Federation Navy Comet, and it starts to micro drive away. At the same time, I'm out of shields, I'm entering armor, and because the drones from the Federation Navy Comet are on top of me, and I'm thinking that, oh boy, I'm in trouble here. I need to react fast, so I just switch onto the Atron. I need to kill the Atron that is pointing me. I managed to nuke him. I'm reaching structure. The drones from the Federation Navy Comet are also on top of me. Okay, the Atron mobbed off, and I also need to go before the damn drones finish me off. And I'm out. This is a weird situation. I had everything under control, and suddenly, because I made the mistake of letting myself to cap myself out, I lost everything. I killed nothing and I almost died. It's ridiculous. I don't like unfinished businesses. So I warped back, and the Federation Navy Comet is also there. Okay, let's go for him. Applied nudes. Go. Nice. Drones out. I need to approach him before he warps off. He's already outside my point range. I need to overload my point. Okay, nice. And let's approach him to make sure he does not run away. Okay, good. Now he also has the drones out. I have low shields, but he's in a worse situation than me, and I don't seem to learn with my mistakes. I kept myself out again. I lost point on him, I lost a newt on him, but fortunately this time it does not warp off. Okay, he's dead, and there we go. Hard one, but still. This situation really shows on how easy it's in this ship to cap yourself out. With 2 newts, a micro drive, and a point, you need to be very good at cap management. Okay, another scenario, another crow tackled. You already know the tactic, so you pretty much know how this is gonna end up for him. And crow is about to get killed. There is a harpy lurking on the horizon. They're not together, but still harpy could be a problem if he walks on top of me. As soon as the crow died, a stiletto warps in and decides to tackle me. I actually applied newts on the pod. Yeah, the, all the habits die hard. I don't really need the newts on the pod, but well, what you gonna do about it? Still, newts on the stiletto, of course. Put in the point, drones, finish up the pod, and make sure I don't cap myself out like I did. Let's make some range. Okay, because the stiletto actually can shoot autocannons and now the stiletto is weird here. He's making a good job pointing me because he lost scram, he puts in the scram, and it's getting me worried. Now Harpy warps in pretty much as I expected, and I'm not. The stiletto is making an amazing job at putting the damn scram on me. What the hell is going on? He has no Nosferatu. Does he has a cap booster? I have no idea. There he goes again. Come on, will you stop scramming me? Just get neutered. Stop that. It's getting annoying. I see the Harpy burning at me. I'm getting worried here. Come on, die, die, die. Okay, I won a bell. Raptor Ares also warping on top of him. Yeah, it's too much. Time to go. What was that? That stiletto did not nuke. What? Pointing me all the time, screaming me all the time. I got a bit worried there. Still, everything went fine, and I managed to warp off, and that's it. Okay, once again I cheat. I use my prober to get a warp in on the Ares that is moving at 0 meters per second. It's the same thing as saying that he's completely stopped. So okay, I warp on top of him, shut him down immediately, he's not gonna go anyplace, bring in the drones, and well, that's pretty much it. If you're an interceptor, you should know better than standing still. Never stand still, even if you're in a ping. Just align someplace, you don't need the micro drive on, just don't stand still. Okay, nice. Terran is warped back in, he wants to give his mate a backup. Okay, Terran is here, let's apply newts on him too. Okay, he's starting to be neutered, but I have to wait until the end of the micro drive cycle. For some reason my micro drive was not functioning. Okay, there we go. So I need to approach him with the micro drive on until he shuts down. Okay, there we go. Shut down. Speed is slowing. He's kept out. Let's maintain one newt on him so that he does not get any fancy ideas. And a vigil. Vigil warping into the fray. Okay, nice. Vigil is actually at range. Okay, interesting. So I would definitely also warp in at range if I were gonna go into a solo Sentinel. Okay, let's see what the Vigil does. And the Vigil is actually micro-driving towards me. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna micro-drive towards him so that he cannot establish a orbit. And let's apply all the newts. There we go. All newts on the Vigil. I have to actually keep chasing him until he shuts down. And he is shut down. He's reducing speed. He's slow boating. There we go. Vigil is an autocannon based ship, so I'm just gonna make some range from him, but he is almost dead, and he's pretty much instant popping, and that is it. 3 nice kills, and barely any damage on my shields. Next fellas had been playing with me for some time, and I finally managed to get a grip on the claw. Now, the tactic with the claw is once again the same. Activate the newts, newt him. Just keep one newt there to make sure he does not gain gap to activate micro drive. Send in the drones. And the hyena is closing in, but the hyena is really not a problem. What is warping in is a stiletto. But okay, I need to finish off the claw first. So yeah, claw is already getting damaged. Lock up the stiletto. I already got my 2 newts ready to put on the stiletto. Stiletto already has some damage because we had already made some sort of engagement before, but nobody died. So stiletto, that's the reason the stiletto has some shield damage. Okay, these fellas are actually shooting at my drones. I'm not noticing that very well. I'm more worried about the capacitor management, but yeah. And when you start shooting the drones of a Sentinel, then something is going very wrong for you. Actually, I don't really mind people shooting my drones. If people are shooting my drones and they were like both on top of me, both the stiletto and the claw, if people are shooting my drones, they're not shooting myself, and I usually got more drones just pop out. So it's usually not really a problem. So what I really want is people not to shoot on top of me. Okay, the claw is down, stiletto is down, and the hyena is really not gonna resist. So once again, the sentinel manages to elude and overpower its opponents. The next case, I found a small gang and I am engaging a rifter. Again, I don't really want to get any close to those autocannons, so I'm keeping the rifter at range, more or less 18-20k. Slasher incoming, let's nuke the slasher. Manticore is dampening me from a bit far away, Rapture jumping in. I just need to keep my range on those nasty things. Then suddenly the Manticore launches a bomb. I just try to kite away from the bomb. Fortunately the bomb misses. I had the micro drive on. That would be very messy for me. Fortunately the bomb did not kill me. Now crow on my tail. Okay, let's go for the crow. Again, nukes on the crow. Slasher just went a bit away. Okay, nice. I am managing to take off the crow easily. Slasher still a bit okay. Slasher coming in, and the Rupture is a bit away, not in warp range. The rest of the tacklers warped off. I don't really know exactly why. Maybe to warp back in, not exactly sure. But okay, I finish off the crow, and then it's time to also finish off the slash. Fortunately, the Rupture and the Ishtar were too far away to play any important. In the next situation, I get a hold of an RP and proceeded to nuke him. The Harpy is really cap dependent. It has absolutely no drones even, so once it's neutered, it's completely harmless. On the other hand, the carries also decided to drop by. They came really close to me, and he actually has drones that are hurting me a lot. So he also is fitted with rails, so I also need to nuke him, and I decide to actually start killing the carries before the Harpy. Even though the situation is under control, my shields are stupidly low, and this is mostly because of the damn drones from the carries, but it's just plain weird to be neuting two ships dependent on hybrids, and I'm still really low on shields. This really shows how fragile my ship is. Okay, crow warps to the harpy. I need to primary the crow. Okay, yeah, he's starting to aggress me. Okay, I'm neuting the crow, and I need to try to catch him because he's getting a bit away now. He's right on the edge of my points. Okay, there we go. Let's switch damage to the crow. I'm starting to enter armor, and another crow. Yeah, I need to align out. This is not gonna end that well for me. Okay, yeah, just pop off, and I'm off. I am out for the time being. Like I already told you guys in this episode, I don't like unfinished business. So I went back, I repaired, of course, on a station, NPC space, and I went back. I went to mess with the Harpy, managed to tackle him, and honestly, I don't really expect to kill a Harpy. What I really want is to use him as decoy, as bait, in order to kill the interceptors. Okay, Claw, Crow, Ares. This could be nasty for me. But then something happens. The tacklers start just to warp off. They warp off to the station, and they leave the Harpy here, and they don't warp down. So I don't know what's happening here. And this is something very important on Eve. It's the social part. Something is happening that they're just leaving their mate and warping off. I have no idea. On these situations, I always assume that they are shipping up, so I just need to be careful on scans, see what's gonna warp in, and if it's something I cannot handle, I of course need to just warp off. This is also great to see how low the DPS is from the Sentinel, because I am taking ages to kill the damn RP. I am accelerating this part of the video by 300%. It's still taking ages to kill a damn assault frigate. Okay. Still, I can only hope that somebody's still gonna come and save him, and they probably might save him because the amount of DPS that I have is so ridiculously low that they might arrive in time. Okay, nice, a crow. I think they're a bit late to save their mate, but they might still want a payback. So, go. Let's approach the damn thing. Let's cap him out. Let's wait for the shutdown. Okay, micro drive from him is off. Shutdown. And there's a second crow here, also in neuting power. And again, I make a traditional mistake, that is to cap myself out, and what's gonna happen here is that I lose point on the first crow, and when I cap myself up again, I point the wrong one and he warps off. Oh man, yeah, this is the sort of stuff that can easily happen if you don't pay close attention to your capacitor. Anyway, we still got this one to finish off, and let's finish this one off. One escaped, but oh well. You're probably thinking that the Sentinel is overpowered and it is invincible in fights against small frigates, but unfortunately it is not the case, although I wished it was. Okay, this case, let's check it out. I find a Condor. Condor is actually a Tech 1 ship, so it melts pretty fast, and a Republic Fleet Fighter and an Ares warp down or warp up, whatever you want. Okay, nice. Let's put in the nudes. I need to nude both the Ares and the Republic Fleet Firetel, and I need to get myself at range, especially from the Republic Fleet Firetel. But I am scrammed. The Republic Fleet Firetel has an Nosferatu. This is very well played on his part, and I cannot break range. The Ares was almost dead, but he was almost also warp core stabbed, so he fled even though he was pointed. Right here I should have warped off, but I'm getting a bit too greedy, and I'm making range on the Firetail. I want to kill him. Okay, I have the situation under control more or less, because I'm no longer in scram range and in autocannon range. But then a crow comes in, and I tried to nuke him, but it's too late. I failed the cap management. I have too little HP, and the crow is still pointing me, and I am dead. Okay, here I managed to split a Dremel from his backup. I'm actually a bit overloaded already because I've been messing with the fellas for some time, and I decided it's time to try and go for it. Drones out, let's point a Dremel. I need to chase him until shutdown. He's really not shut down yet, he was just slingshotting me. Okay, now he is dead in the water. But the Caracal is approaching, and the Caracal is a problem. Not only the Caracal is micro driving towards me, and there is also a Crusader that wants to get me real bad. Now, here at this point I should have been micro driving away sooner, because the Caracal is really close, and I got myself flat. I get tackled by the Crusader. Also, I'm trying to nuke the Crusader, but once I nuke the Crusader, it's all so very fast, and then the Caracal gets me. This is actually a scrambling / webbing Caracal. It is something not very often these days, but it does the job, and finishes me off. At this point I'm actually getting a global, but it's really irrelevant. The Caracal got me scrammed and webbed, and I am dead. I was too greedy, I should have warped off sooner, and well, this is it. In the next case, I'm messing with a gang with four interceptors, 2 Tyrannies, a crow, and something else that is still on the other side of the gate, and I decide to go for these guys. But I'm doing everything wrong here, and at the time I did not knew better, because it was one of my first engagements. I am starting up too close to them. I have failed to split them up, and they're all in their optimals. So even though I am applying newts to one Tyrannus, I am missing the newts on the other Tyrannus. The Crow is pretty much kiting me and applying also damage to me. And now there's the Stiletto that is also coming in, and it's gonna tackle me soon. I'm already melting, I'm already in the structure, and although I am almost killing one of them, I'm just doing this all wrong. So I failed to split them, I failed to divide and conquer, and one Sentinel is really not all that good. You cannot really engage for Scepters head on, especially Scepters with high DPS and that are in range of you, so just don't try to do it. Okay, in here I am just finishing off a slasher, and I know he has backup on the other side of the gate. I am trying to lure them in, so I know this guy is not alone, and he is aggressed near the gate, and he's gonna pop easily soon. Okay, nice. Malediction. Okay, malediction is really also not a problem. Malediction. Jaguar just warped in, and assault frigates are a problem. I need to kite away from the Jag as fast as possible, and I took too long to do that, and I also took too long to remove the nudes from the malediction. I should have removed the nudes from the malediction a lot faster, so that I could nuke Jaguar a lot sooner, and hence make range from him and manage to micro drive and just warp off. Another mistake I'm doing here is that I'm really not aligned. So although I am neuting the Jaguar now, I am safely away from the Jag. I'm still being shot by the Crow at long range, and with the small HP that I got, it's gonna catch me. So I'm trying to nuke the Crow, and too late, dead. I still managed to kill the slasher and the malediction, even though the malediction was not pointed. But yeah, me not being aligned was really a very bad call. This guy was actually interesting because I jump in, and there's a saber being aggressed by a Kaldari Navy Hobkill and a Harpy. I took a few seconds to decide what I was going to do, and I decided that I was going to horn them and try to capitalize this my way and see what I could do. Saber is almost dead, the Republic the Hope Kill is also dead, and the only thing here is the Harpy. So okay, Saber dead. Okay, nice. Let's go for the Harpy. Harpy almost in point range. Okay, good. There we go. Nude, and let's put the drones on the Harpy. Now, I've already shown you guys harpies on this episode, and you know that they take a long time to kill. So yeah, I'm gonna speed up the video a bit, okay? So, okay, there's nothing much you can do, but there was something I thought it was odd. He was aligning to a station instead of reapproaching gate. I mean, if he had reapproached the gate, he could easily just de-aggress and jump out, but he's aggressing me when he has some cap, and he's continuing to align to the station, and he's also boosting. So I don't really know what's happening here, but I find it a bit fishy. Why is he aligning to the station? Why is he not reapproaching the gate? Not long after, a hog jumps in, and me, instead of warping off, I try to take the engagement, and I try to also nuke the hog and try to kill somebody here. But assault frigates are really hard to take on, and the hog once again is already on top of me. He just jumped through the gate and scrammed me and webbed me. I missed my alignment point because I double clicked space. I'm not pointed for a few seconds. I could just warped off if I had a proper alignment. I don't really know what I did there. They're also being in a drain mill, but at this point it really does not matter because I am dead. And finally, the last sketch from this long episode dedicated to the wonderful ship that is the Sentinel. I actually managed to tackle a Ferox, like 100 off the gates, and tried to kill it with my Sentinel. I had killed his own drones, and it is the perfect battle cruiser a Sentinel can find because it has not many drones. It is cap dependent, and a Sentinel should be able to kill it. But as it happens, the passive tank was so big on the Ferox that I was forced to call my corpmates. Fortunately, my corpmates are always hunger for some bloodlust and for some kills, and they drove in from 4 jumps away to kill this Ferox. So yeah, the Sentinel alone could not kill the battle cruiser that is pretty much ideal against them. Um, I managed to kill stuff like Nagas occasionally, but if you're in a Sentinel, don't really count on killing many battle cruisers. You might be able to pull it, of course, not saying otherwise, but it's really not the ideal target you're looking for. Fellas, well, thank you for joining me on this long episode dedicated to the Sentinel. And before finishing up, I would just like to go through some conclusions that might actually help you, and that really sum up the experience of my PvP with this ship. I'd really like to point out the original gameplay associated with the Sentinel. It is different from everything else I've ever flown, and it has an enormous potential, really big potential. But at the same time, it's so limited EHP wise and DPS wise that the enormous potential becomes balanced by how fragile you are and how stupidly ridiculous low the DPS is and how long you take to kill them Scepter. So there's really a balance here, and overall I truly think that flying the Sentinel is flying hardcore. The way that you kill your foes is different, and you need to be really careful. Like I told before, somebody looks at you the wrong way and you die. So yeah, it's really, I really consider it to be hardcore, and I have lots of experience flying other frigates and flying destroyers, and it's different at the very least. With the current metagame, I'm pretty sure that you will find no shortage of targets, and honestly, there are those people that like to fly what everybody else flies, and everybody else is flying interceptors, so everybody wants to fly interceptors. That's fine. I prefer to kill all those people and find something original to get my hands on. And I also hope that you try it out. And this is all. Thank you for accompanying me on this special edition, long special edition, and I see you next time.